Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks. Welcome to Earth Date Y2K 17.11.21. And the quotes for today's broadcast entitled Trump's Beer Hall Putsch. That's spelled P-U-T-S-C-H. And here are the quotes. The party should not become a constable of public opinion, but must dominate it. It must not become a servant of the masses, but their master. Here's another quote. Sorry about my allergies, folks. There must be no majority decisions, but only responsible persons. And the word council must be restored to its original meaning. Surely every man will have advisors by his side, but the decisions will be made by one man. And the final quote, those who want to live, let them fight. And those who do not want to fight in this world of eternal struggle do not deserve to live. And in case you want to know, it's not Donald Trump I'm quoting, it's Adolf Hitler. It was 8-9 November 1923 when Adolf Hitler, 1889 to 1945, and his followers decided to violently take over the government of Germany. This was called the Beer Hall Putsch. Hitler and his thugs failed, and the dictator in waiting was sentenced to 5 years in Landsberg prison and ended up serving only 1. Furthermore, the time Hitler served there was spent well. He wrote Mein Kampf, no less, and continued his plans for the takeover of Germany. Hitler and his followers decided that the best way to take over the system was to undermine it from within and then take over the party legally as the German Constitution demanded. Things may have turned out different if only the times weren't so bad. If only the people were not so angry and ignorant. If only Hitler was a little less intelligent. And if only he was less monomaniacal in his drive for world domination. 94 years later, a new world leader in the tradition of Hitler has risen. These new totalitarians have learned from Hitler's mistakes and have skipped violent coups. Donald Trump and his Bannon Nazi allies have gone straight to the jugular. They're forming a beer hall putsch within the legal confines of a constitutional democracy to destroy it. It is obvious to me that our country, the USA, is not inviolate. It can be destroyed quicker than it was made. All it takes is ignorance, apathy, fear, and hate to do it. We have the nerve to create a myth in which the human species, us, is at the center of the universe. Nothing can be further from the truth when we insist on allowing thugs like Trump to run rampant on our precious earth. Hitler and all dictators before and after him were thugs. And they relied on thugs, bullies, thugs to get and keep them in power. Just study the campaign of the birther, dotard, bastard Trump. It was filled with violence. Who could forget? Not me. I saw it on TV. The black man elbowed. The black woman surrounded by a bunch of these racist bastards and being shoved around. The language that this creep used. Telling people to go out and beat people up, and while he's been invading our country, contaminating it, he's telling police officers to beat up on people, to rough them up. He's trying to take over the entire executive branch. He wants to undermine the Justice Department. He was persecuting Comey. This is a dictator, folks. This is a treasonous dictator. I know, and I'm sure many people out there know. And we have to get at him. We have to go for the jugular. I could never forget all this horrific attack, the violence encouraged by this thug, this bully, this lowlife creep. And if anybody's out there who supports that creep, no matter what he does, and I'm not talking about the buyer's remorse people, the people that support this creep, you are traitors. But the most frightening thing of all was these repugnant and violent acts were part of a legal political campaign. Not part of an illegal coup of our country, as Hitler attempted to do in the early part of the 20th century. Bannon and Trump have learned, as Hitler did, that you must fight from within this system to undermine it and consume it. We have bullies and thugs, bound and determined to make our precious free country their own. Let me repeat that, folks, because I'm not sleeping. I mean, I'm losing sleep over what's happened in this country. If I could run screaming in the streets to warn people, if I get on a horse like Paul Revere did and go through the streets warning people of this crap that's happening to our country, if I could do that, I would. But the only thing I have is this. Because, believe me, folks, after 67 years on this planet, among my fellow naked savage apes, I know one thing: we have not freaking learned. These bullies already have 3 branches of our federal government and are working tirelessly to bring their brand of religious extremist thug behavior to the rest of our country and the world. They are in the process of undermining every decent thing President Obama tried to do for us, precisely because they are racist thugs and hateful scumbag Nazis. And by the way, if there are any religious, Orthodox, Jewish people out there, and I'm a member of the tribe, if you voted for this creep, you are a traitor to your people and a traitor to your country. They're in the process of undermining every decent thing Obama did for us, precisely because they are thugs and Nazis and racist turds. And they are confident that we are asleep and enslaved by reality TV and other stupidities, which many of us are. I, on the other hand, and believe me, the bulb isn't so bright here. I understand that. I am still wide awake. And I will never, ever, ever call a Hitlerian thug and bully Trump president of our country.